Okay, some things I realized I forgot that are important. You do not have to play trial back to back every time you lose. I would actually suggest against that. I mean, you can. You'll end up learning. But if you get bored, you don't have to keep doing trial over and over. There are other parts of the games that you can explore. I I got very burnt out of trial if I tried doing it over and over and I was learning it. You do not have to do that. Okay, so trial of one. The first thing I would say, it's easiest with sword in my opinion. I feel like that's the general opinion of everyone who plays this game. But you don't need a sword to beat it. I don't really have a build plan. I'm just gonna do random shit because I'm just gonna wipe this after. I'm only doing this to showcase how to do trial of one because it really doesn't matter what build you're making. You can beat trial of one with any type of build. So you obviously just spawn at the Lone Warrior miniature, so this is trial of one. So finalize character. In order to unlock trial of one, I think it's like the first time you die. They've changed the requirements over the years, but I think now it's the first time you die. There is one thing, this will not be too crazy, but if you're in a bad server, and to be able to tell if you're in a bad server, you can press escape, go to settings, scroll down, and where it says performance stats, turn that on, and you look at your ping. You want to look for like 100 ping or less, but it doesn't always depend on your server. This also depends on your Wi-Fi. But right now I'm in an instance server. I have no idea where that is, but you want to look for a server that is like next to your geographical location. The closest it is to you, then the better your ping will be, basically. I don't really care because I know how to do this, but the first part of trial is a parry check. The parry check, basically, it will go in a pattern. So the first one will be slow, the second one will be faster, then the third one will be super fast. So you just watch and you can see like how I time it, like parry, you can hear the parry sound, so I'm not going to say parry every time. Okay, after this one's going to go a little faster. And move it forward a little bit. And on this one, you literally just spam F. I'm not trying to time this at all. I was just spamming the F key. That's only when it starts going super fast, though. On the ones before that, I am timing it. I'm not spamming F. But on that one, the best strategy is to spam F. Okay, so this is Sharko. On the Sharko, there's a lot of stuff to the Sharko. Not a lot, but monsters in general. So the most important thing to know about monsters is that they have infinite hyper armor, meaning you can't cancel any of their attacks. So you never want to start out with the swing. You only want to swing after you have parried or rolled some of their attacks. Between certain attacks, you have certain times, like certain amounts of time before it does its next attack. So I'll start saying, after that kick, you can land 3 M1s. After it does one swing, you could land one M1, but it's pretty risky. So if he does 2 swings, you can land 2 M1s, which he's not doing. But like 2 swings, there we go, I can land 2 M1s. 1 swing, but that's why 1 swing is risky, because if I tried to swing there, I could have got hit by the kick. So 2 swings, parry twice, 1 swing and a kick. He could start off with the kick, or he could just do a singular swing without doing anything after. So you basically just have to try to look out for what he's doing every time. Another tip that I realized I haven't talked about, you'll notice how I'm standing completely still. That's so it's easiest to see what the Sharko is doing. I would highly recommend that you stand still when you fight mobs. Like, it's not like I can't like run around, but it makes it a lot harder to see what the Sharko is doing if I like run around. But a lot of what you want to do is try to learn between what attacks would, like how many times you can swing. And there's one thing I haven't mentioned. Whenever he does the double swing, Like, I just parried twice whenever he does the first swing. Like, where's an example? Like, I pressed F again there, because it's really hard to react to the second swing. So every time I just start a parry as if he's gonna do a second swing, even if he doesn't, just to make it so I don't mess up at all. That might sound really confusing, but you might understand. Because, like, I started a parry there, but you still have enough time to roll even if you start a parry. Okay, that time, yeah, that was just me whiffing. But I think that's most of the stuff, so I'll start actually swinging now. So he did 2 swings, I can get 2 M1s in. He did 1 swing, yep, and he kicked. So I can get 3 M1s now that I dodged a kick. So 2 swings, 2 M1s. 1 kick, 3 M1s. And you see, I killed him really fast after I started attacking. The Sharko does not have much health in the trial. The Sharko, every mob in Trial of 1 has less health than it would in the actual game. Mantras. What do I want to talk about mantras? I would not recommend using mantras if you're trying to learn how to fight mobs. It's not that mantras are necessarily bad for fighting mobs, but oftentimes it makes it a lot harder to time when you should swing. So, the Earth Golem, I would recommend just running away when he does a little spinny thing. So, and just wait for his next attack. You can get 2 M1s between most of his attacks. Like 2 M1s. There is a time where he charges his beam. You can get an M1 while he's charging it. But like I can get 2 M1s between that. And he's spinning, so I just run away. And you want to turn off shift lock and try to look back and see what he's doing, but your main priority will be running away. So now I go back now that he stopped. He does the beam, roll it, and it's pretty hard to time, as you can see. But just run away again. I know I'm not getting much damage in right now, but it's better for you to survive than to get more damage in when you could have gotten hit by something else. So roll. So 2 M1s, parry, 2 M1s. Roll, 2 M1s, parry, 2 M1s. Like, I'm doing a lot of the same pattern. Next is Croc. This is probably the easiest mob of the trial. So I like how I get hit. He has this attack. You basically want to roll after 2 seconds. Bro, I'm selling. Okay. Basically you want to roll after 2 seconds of him in the floor. And how his attacks work, he has that claw strike, he has the tail strike, and he has a bite. So for the bite, 1, 2, 3. The third one is a little bit faster. So it's 1, 2, 3. So yeah, 1, 2. You want to, the third parry you want to do sooner, basically. The tail strike, yeah, parry. So now I'll talk about how many hits you can get between attacks. So in the burrowing attack, you can get 2 M1s between. That, you can get 2 M1s. This, you can get 2 M1s. This one, you can get 2 M1s on the claw strike, which I already showed. Basically just 2 M1s between every attack. But the thing with the tail strike is the second M1, as you can see, sometimes he starts like doing an attack sooner. So getting 2 M1s is a little bit risky on the tail strike. If you don't M1 as soon as you parry on the tail strike, then you will probably get hit by an attack. I would recommend to only M1 once after the tail strike, which I probably should have for example purposes, but you can get 2 M1s off if you M1 right after you parry. So this is the hardest part of the trial, the angels. So the thing that makes the angels really hard, and even I die to them sometimes, they can use mantras. If you are learning Trial of 1, this will be your biggest hiccup, I would assume, as they are humanoid NPCs and can have enchants. I would suggest you play conservatively, though, against them. If you down one, you want to stay on their corpse, make sure they don't get back up, and keep on winning. So this applies for any humanoid NPC. You want to wait till you parry one of their attacks before you swing. Just every time you fight them. So I'm not playing on the offensive. I'm playing like I'm trying to counter him. And every time you swing, you need to be ready that there's the possibility that they can parry your M1 and you have to parry sooner. That's one thing that I see a lot of people get caught up on, but it's just reaction time. Like, he parried my swing there, so I had to parry sooner. But it's hard to explain because most of it is just muscle memory. For me, that's what most of like fighting humanoid NPCs and just fighting mobs in general, you want it to go to the point where it'll become muscle memory. Once you do trial of one enough, it will become muscle memory, but I played this game for like 2 years, if not longer. So, I mean, I kind of have known how to fight them for a while, so of course it's going to be muscle memory. So I can't really give a gauge on how long it would take. This is Hero Golem. Oh wait, I lied. This is Enforcer. So, Enforcer is similar to the Angels, but one of the things that is hardest to learn for Enforcer is, you remember how I said the Sharko and just all monsters have infinite hyper armor, so you can't cancel any of their attacks. Like, I'm gonna swing in the middle of one of his attacks. You see how he keeps swinging? He also has that trait of a monster where he has infinite hyper armor. All of his attacks have hyper armor, which means they can't be cancelled if he gets hit. So, that's one of the hardest things, because he has hyper armor, but he can also parry you. So, you basically, even if you land a hit on him, you just want to wait for his next hit. No matter if you landed a hit on him. Because I hit him there, I just wait for his next hit. Just wait for his next hit. And I just parry, and then after I parry on his attacks, then I'll swing. That's the only time you want to swing against an Enforcer. Okay. Ironically, I just swung after a roll there. But if you're learning, you only want to swing after you parry. That should guarantee that you don't get hit. There is the possibility that he can feint you. So that means he cancels his swing. So, I'm going to wait for him to do it. If he does that, you have the choice to either hold block or to roll it. But you don't attack after he feints you. You wait till you land a parry. So, he's not doing it. I think you have to, like, be attacking for him to feint you. I don't know why he's not doing it. But like that's like, I'm just listening for every time he parries me. If he parries me, I'd expect to attack sooner. Now this is Hero Golem after Enforcer. So, when you're learning Hero Golem, I would suggest rolling the first, anytime you see the Hero Golem do something, just press Q, basically. Because you can just roll all of his attacks. And whenever he does a swing, keep in mind that you might have to parry if he does a second swing. So you might think whenever he does that attack, you can still roll pretty early. Like, you can roll right as he moves and it still works. But like, he moved, oh, roll. Just like right when you can see him move, you just want to roll. So, now that you know how to defend against the attacks, how do you play the offensive? It's basically kind of how I'm trying to go about this. Now that you know how to defend against all of his attacks, so between a kick, you can get 2 M1s. Between a swing, you can get 2 M1s. Between, a swing, you can get 2 M1. Most of his attacks, you can just land 2 M1s between. Like this one, but I rolled a little later there. So it's not, I would suggest just going for 1 M1 between each attack. It's hard for me to do that because this is my muscle memory to swing twice. But you'll see how I didn't actually roll that, yet it didn't hit me. That's because they're a little bit more generous with the roll frames on that, so you can roll it pretty early. But 1 M1. Now the thing with only trying to get 1 M1 is that will take you a long time. So, but it kind of guarantees, hopefully it should guarantee that you can see all of its attacks coming. But there's another parry check after Hero Golem. There's another parry check, you just want to spam F. This parry check is like the same timing as the ending of the first parry check. So it's just your best idea is just to spam F. So this part of the trial, you don't even have to expect to beat it. It's a Sharko and a parry trial at the same time, basically. So it's really all of it comes down to is like you need to have the ability to you need to have the mastery of being able to like fight a Sharko in your sleep, and also just keep the timing in your head of when it's gonna hit you.